Welcome, race fans, to the Smokin Gobbler Truck Series race number 8 here for our night race at Darlington 150. We are under qualifying right now. Looks like they should be finishing this up in about 2 minutes here. Joining me today, I'm Gerald Campbell. Joining me also is Taillon, David Huckleberry. And like I said, we're here at Darlington. It's going to be a night race, only about 4 more races, including this one, to finish off the regular season for that championship. This is a 1.5 mile track. Both turns are a little different from each other, as we've heard from drivers multiple times. They're looking into this race as being one of the hardest oval tracks to run. Drivers such as R.C. Anderson stating this is one of the most difficult tracks he's ever raced at. So looking forward to see how these trucks are able to compete tonight. Joining me, like I stated, is Taillon. Harrison, we've got 4 races left, and you come into a racetrack that is known for being very difficult to, 1, pass, and 2, keep it clean, as most of the time, it's not the other drivers you have to worry about. It's your own driving towards trying not to tear up the vehicle. What do you think some of these drivers, as you see our points here, are coming in tonight thinking that they have to accomplish to be able to continue to gain towards the right track for the regular season?
Yeah, you said it best. I mean, these guys are, the points are really tight right now, and we're at a racetrack that is a really tight racetrack. A lot of close quarter action. Could really only fit two cars in a lane safely. If you want to go 3 wide, that's a pretty big risk right there. So it's all about managing your surroundings tonight. Really, it's all about awareness out there. Keeping the truck clean, and being there at the end for hopefully a good finish. Also, you got to make sure that you stack up some of those stage points as well. So those are always so important. So managing, being clean, but also staying up front throughout the race to get as many points as you possibly can.
Well, you see the point standings here. R.C. Anderson is on top, but I do not see him in the running order here. So he might have some prior obligations. But what that's going to do is it's going to allow people like Ethan Stanley, Alex Vandersant, Matthew Weeks to try to see if they can be able to gain some points here before the end of the regular season. So might help them out. R.C. Anderson coming off a 2-race win streak. Going to miss out here at Darlington. But qualifying has wrapped up. We're going to go ahead and bring you the lineup here and give it over to David here. And he's going to let you know how this qualifying turned out.
All right, on the pole tonight, looks like Sean Ryan, followed by Trevor Elam, Ethan Stanley, Latham Joyner, Scott Crump, and Drake Berry round out the top 6. Mark Murphy in 7th, Corey Abbott 8th, Ethan Burrell in 9th, Jesse Rasmus in 10th, Daniel Martinez 11th, Wesley Crump in 12th. 13th, Jeff Green. I haven't seen Jeff for a while, so it's good to see Jeff back out there. Trey Holmes, 14th. Matthew Weeks, 15th. Alex Vandezant, 16th. Robert Hill Jr. in 17th. 18th, Michael Hosack. 19th, Dustin Durer. 20th, Joshua Arnold. 21st, Zach Evans. 22nd, Chad Frankenfield. 23rd, Jake Finch. 24th, Cole Mickrut. 25th, Michael Klein. 26th, Brent Jones. 27th, Cody McCorkle. 28th, Jaden Rasmus. 29th, Leighton Norgard. 30th, Sam Batwell. 31st, Josh Freed. 32nd, Tyler Dixon. 33rd, Ray Bracey. And our off-track admin is Ethan Reese.
Yeah, well, Jeff Green stated to being in this race. I believe that has to do with probably the Xfinity team being so close to home that he was able to get home in time to be able to come and compete with us here for this Sunday night event. They will be going green flag this time by, as the trucks are leading them down the back stretch as they go right now. A few drivers to keep an eye out. Obviously, Sean Ryan's having a very good run so far here in the middle part of the season. Keep an eye on him. Ethan Stanley as well. Both of those drivers had really good runs in the Nashville short track. And then also our last season winner, Scott Crump here at Darlington. Very good Darlington racer. Definitely want to keep an eye on them. But here they go. Pace car is off. We're about to go green where the racing gets good and the good gets racing. try to keep it off the walls, and the green flag is out. As you see Sean Ryan on the inside lane as they go into this turn. The inside is preferred, but if you're able to stay to the outside, then it switches over to you having the momentum on the outside. As you see the 29 of Trevor Elam there clear himself, and now is going to have a very good run on our leader. Not going to be able to get to him in time before they get through this very tight turn here, 3 and 4. Right here, just running around the top lane, trying to keep the momentum up, as that's the shorter turn, and it really, there's more braking in there. Turns 1 and 2 here that you see now their go through is almost full throttle. So right now, the drivers with fresh tires are able to get around there full throttle. But we will start seeing as the laps go by, the tires will start to wear down, and you'll start seeing a little bit more slipping and sliding. That's usually when you'll see a lot of the passing take place. Right now, with the fresh tires, very difficult to get around somebody. As you see Jeff Green there onto the inside of Daniel Martinez in the 33. Looks like Martinez is going to allow him to just be able to get past. And yes, Jeff Green now takes over the 12th position.
Yeah, you mentioned about the differing in corners. You know, the turn 1 and 2, you basically have to double apex it. A quick apex at the beginning of the corner to get good position for basically. It's such a fast corner. You only have a quick lift off the throttle, so you need to do a quick double apex in that quarter, one on the entry and then one on the exit. The exit, though, is really tricky to get right, consistently at least. You have to lift off the throttle a ton if the wall comes so fast to you. So you have to. It's really tricky. This track it's one of the hardest on the schedule for sure.
Absolutely. Well, also to keep in mind, like how I've seen normal racing, and we saw there with the 33 when Jeff Green was onto the inside. There's not really any other track where you have almost like a gentleman's agreement early on. If someone's underneath you going into turn 1 and 2, usually the outside guy will go ahead and lift and let the guy pass if he's able to get underneath. It's really no other track that I know of where someone will just go ahead and preemptively allow a driver to get past just so that way they can survive this racetrack. Because as we've stated, how close they get to the wall, and especially when these tires start to wear, that's when you start seeing them slide more closer to that wall, especially out on corner exit. Just trying to keep a truck underneath them clean is going to be the key here tonight. John Ryan has led everything so far, but 29 has been stalking him, as well as Ethan Stanley starting to work his way up. Drafting is really not big of a factor right now. Right now, it's just all these drivers being very, very similar in speed. So we'll see how it goes along and see who's able to save a little bit and have the speed coming out. Ooh, you see the 91 almost slapped the wall there coming out of turn 2. Oh, a dive bomb move here from Trevor Elam. I guess he's giving up.
Sean just got the wall there. It sucks you in so much. Trevor Elam to the lead. You saw how good of a run he got off of turn 2.
Yeah, that tap of the wall by the 9 is actually going to make him lose 2 positions there as the 91 is able to get by. And it looks like Scott Crump is starting to take a look too coming out of turn 2. Very difficult pass to make right there. Actually sets up a pass to be made behind him. Maybe not. 03 deciding not to make the pass just as of yet. But yeah, you see this kind of like chess moves being made. You know, when do you have to try to make a pass? If you can't, it slows your momentum down so much that the driver behind you might be able to get the run on. As you see an onboard shot here of Lethan Joyner in the 03.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best. I mean, these guys are gonna have to manage their tires, you know, and as the further we go into the run, you know, picking and choosing when to, you know, push and make a pass and stuff like that. It's going to be tricky because you got to make sure that you're going to get by that truck, you know, pretty quick. You know, you don't want to stay side by side battling that other driver. That'll just completely destroy all the progress you made on saving your tires. So yeah, you got to have a good mindset. You got to. Oh, we got the 62 stuck in the wall.
Yeah, 62 did something that I was stating, usually there's a gentleman's agreement because that's exactly what ends up happening if you try to battle someone going into turn 1, just as we saw there with the 62. He tried to get the momentum on the outside, but when you do that going into turn 1, it shoots you right into the wall. So Paul Merkert there is going to have some damage to have to fix if we get another caution here to be able to see if he can get that fender pulled back out after slamming the wall there. A lot of good battling going on, as I stated. Once the tires start to go away, which they're just in the area of going out. Wow, Matthew Weeks made a dive bomb move there. I think you saw that too, Harris.
Yeah, he's making his moves. You know, Matthew Weeks is a notorious tire saver. So I mean, he's always a threat when it comes to, you know, long run pace and management. As Chad gets into the back of Van de Sant, little bump.
Yeah, some drivers are not good at waiting behind others. You get these stack ups kind of here. A slower driver stacks up this whole line because it becomes hard to be able to make the pass, because if you don't make the pass and set it up just right, you get freight trained as of such. But Matthew Weeks making short work of Jeff Green there, able to get himself up into the 12th place. So keep an eye on Matthew Weeks, another driver that's really good at Darlington here. So definitely want to see how he works his way up from the 15th starting position.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Chad came over on the radio there, the comms. He apologized to Van de Sant. He didn't mean it. Didn't look anything intentional, just a little stack up, and Chad didn't, you know, obviously couldn't get a woe down in time. It's part of the racing. But you know, and you know, when we going back to, you know, getting into the wall here, you get stuck so easily. You know, you have to be more careful, I feel like, in turns 1 and 2. You know, that corner is just all momentum based, really. I think maybe more so than turns 3 and 4. And you just lose absolutely everything, every bit of momentum. But really, if you hit the wall in turn 3 and 4 as well, it's not that good either. It's a pretty lower speed corner, I guess you could say, compared to turn 1. You're not running as high as revs or RPMs as you would on the other side of the track, and so it's harder to get back, you know, accelerated faster, if you know what I mean, to versus what it would be over in 1 and 2. So let's just say hitting the wall is not very good.
Good. Let's put that onto a plaque. Hitting a wall is not very good. Well, it looks like Holm is able to get around, I think that was Abbott there, to work himself up into the 8th position. So a lot of moving around right now going on track. One driver that's not having a lot of fun so far. Had a good start for qualifying. John Ryan all the way back down to 6th after starting on pole. So after making that little bit of wall contact, he may have burnt his stuff up a little bit and is now slowly starting to fall back further and further into the field here. Real quickly, we'll pull up. Do you have it ready, David, for the stages here? Didn't know if you. There we go. Perfect. 150 laps tonight. Actually, 110.
Yep, you're right.
3 sets of tires, and the stage will be on lap 40. So lap 40 is where all drivers are putting their notes down as to trying to save at least enough tire to make their fuel won't be an issue. Tires will be, though, as they only have 3 sets of those. So 110 laps tonight. Already 18 down, coming down to 19 to go. And now Trevor Elam is trying to get a little bit of distance between him in 2nd place of Ethan Stanley. Scott Crump starting to make a little bit of move and a little bit of commotion here as he is starting to slowly track down that 2nd place driver. Scott Crump, notorious for being able to be very smooth at this track. As long as his internet connection's there, he has the speed to be able to prove it out on track.
Yeah, you're right. You know, as long as his internet holds up, looks good so far. But yeah, I mean, I think we're at the point of the run now where around lap 20 to 25 is where we start seeing, you know, the tire fall off really take true effect. You know, I think, You know, you could see some hints of it over the last 5 to 10 laps. But now, as we're set stone into a pretty good run right here, you know, I think you're definitely going to see these drivers, you know, make way, or, you know, the drivers that are have saved a lot more than the others make way through a lot quicker. So we're going to start seeing that pretty soon.
Yeah, this happened earlier. This was the battle for the lead earlier on when the 9 just barely tapped. I guess you would call that a scrape. That's not game over for the 9 at any means. He can still be able to come back from that. That's not nearly as hard as we've seen a couple of the drivers hit the wall tonight. So 9 just needs to be able to catch back up and maybe pit and come up with a better strategy. As we see, huge wreck back there. Looks like Jeff Green. That was battle for 12th position there. And the 60, I think that's the 69 there of Mark Murphy there. They both hooked up and hit the wall going down the straightaway. Weird scenario that happened there. Maybe we'll be able to get a little replay going back. But both Jeff Green and that red truck there of the 69. Jeff Green looks like he dove to the inside, came back up the racetrack a little bit, and a little net code I think is what really caused both those drivers to have to really hit hard. Oh, Corey Abbott had nowhere to go. And also involved, lost a lot of time on track and position.
Look at that lead.
Yeah, Trevor Elam starting to put a little bit of gap while we were watching that replay. Scott Crump was able to make a position for second place. And that lead will start going down, I predict. Scott Crump, I think, will start slowly catching up here. He has a total of 16 laps before the end of the stage to be able to make his mark, to be able to get up there. We'll go back and see the pass for second place here. Looks like Scott Crump just set him up going down the back straightaway and was able to dive it in pretty well. He had a lot of tire. Didn't slide up nearly as much as you would think on a lap 24 run, but good run for Scott Crump. Dove it in there and is able to make the position count.
Yeah, good move, Scott Crump. Got it done pretty quick as well. That's what you want to do, especially when you're set stone into a run like we are right now. So, yeah, he should start making headway. He's lost a couple tenths since the last time we saw him. But not sure if he just made a small, slight error.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that, as that ticker is starting to go up a little bit between him and Elam there. As you see a battle here of Ethan Burrell starting to slowly catch up onto the 9 of Sean Ryan. Ethan Burrell started in 9th. Is going to try to see if he can pass for the 6th place position. And he has not very far to look behind him before he sees his teammate of Matthew Weeks making a big statement here, coming up from pretty far back and trying to get his way up there.
Yeah, Ethan Burrell, he's doing really good. He's stayed there pretty much in the 7th spot around that place since the start of the race, but looks like he's probably just biding his time at the moment, and he'll start to pick them off one by one, one would assume. But Matthew Weeks is up to 8th now. He's coming through the track pretty quick. That little dust up there a few laps ago really it helped his progress, although it to pass some trucks, although it hurt him time wise. He's just over 3 seconds back from Ethan Burrell, but yeah, he's up to 8th now. He's making some really good headway.
If you're wanting to know why there were some numbers in yellow and some in white on your ticker to the left there, the ones in yellow are our rookie drivers, a couple of them in the top 5 having good nights. Ethan Joyner there, and I believe that's also Drake Berry and the 01. Started halfway through the season, have a good run tonight in the top 5. Just having a quiet night, and as a rookie, that's good. You don't want to be making waves, especially at a track like this where enemies can make your night very difficult. So our rookie drivers have a strong run and showing themselves to be in the top 5 pretty well here, as that battle continues between the 9 truck here, Sean Ryan and Ethan Burrell in the 37 for 6th, as we will be coming around next time by for 10 laps to go before the end of the stage.
Yeah, the stage comes up super quick here. 40 laps goes by pretty fast when it's all nice and green and nice and clean, which is really awesome to see at the moment. You know, we got some really good racing. And yeah, Ethan right there, right on the back of Sean Ryan. He's hunting. He's ready to pounce. Just probably waiting for a quick mistake like that from Sean Ryan, and he'll just dive it right to the inside. I'm sure Sean might just probably give it up to him. Maybe fight it a little bit, but Ethan should make quick work of this.
Yeah, it's a little easier to fight in turns 3 and 4 than it is to fight in turns 1 and 2 going into the turn. We'll see if the 9 backs off going into turn. He does. That's kind of what you predict going into turn 1. You don't want to go side by side when you're full throttle heading straight at a wall. It's a little intimidating. I've seen it happen where you can do it cleanly, but the time you lose on track is pretty awful. As you see, a really good battle here. Jeff Green and the 33 there, they've been having a battle all day long. But that is a battle for 15th position there, as they are side by side. And looks like Jeff Green a little loose on the outside. He's going to probably have to give up the position going down the straightaway, as he does. What you expect from a real-life Xfinity champion. He knows the goings and comings of Darlington. He's raced here plenty of time.
These guys are doing good so far. Yeah, Trevor Elam up front. He's pretty much kept that gap just about the same. I mean, Scott Crump got those 2/10 back, but it's stayed about now at 7/10 for the past 5-7 laps maybe. So I mean, barring any major mistake or any kind of mess up from somebody else maybe that affects him, he should pick up the stage win.
We have 6 laps left to decide that. Scott Crump makes a lot of time.
Wow,
here.
Yeah, he did.
Go up there, as you were seeing a battle there in the top 5 between Stanley, but Scott Crump really starting to gain now. He's within 0.3 of a second and only a couple truck lengths back. He has put the metal to the pedal there. It is time to go, as Scott Crump is very quickly making up time on our leader here before the end of the stage. So yeah, just so happened in the last couple laps, I don't know if 29 had an issue or something, but he lost 0.3 of a second. He does that again, loses 0.3 of a second. Scott Crump will essentially be past him at that point. But here we come to next time around, 5 laps to go before the end of the stage, as they are both actually catching up to some lap traffic just to make it even more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I initially suspected that it was lap traffic that hampered Trevor Elam there, but when we went to the shot with them, there was nobody around the two of them. So yeah, maybe a slight mistake out of Trevor, might have nicked the wall or had to get out of the throttle a little bit to maybe not hit the wall, and that could have costed him some time there. But yeah, now pressure's on from Scott Crump. He's right there.
Yeah, battle back here in between 4th and 5th. And it looks like actually 6th is starting to come back into play. You see them all lined up right here. This is our all battle for positions, as the 01 has tried in multiple attempts to be able to get underneath the 91 for the 4th place position. And multiple times Ethan Stanley has been able to battle back on the outside and get it, but another mess up coming out of the turn is going to allow the 01 another shot going into turn 3. Is going to be able to stick to the underside of him, be able to stay next to him. 91 has a great surge to the outside. It's going to be a battle down the back straightaway, 3 wide as you're at it, as they go past the lap car. Ethan Burrell is going to have to decide who he wants to go with. No one's going to give up position. This is going to be a tough part of the track. A little bit of contact being made. 01 once again being rebuffed for that 4th place position. Ethan Stanley doing a great job holding the outside, but he's got to be very thankful that Barry there did not end up getting into him, as that ends up happening more times than not later in the run. Who's to say the 01 doesn't just stick it in there and say, boy, if you're on the outside of me, You're the one going into the wall, not me. So gonna have to definitely make a decision later in the run if that's how you want to play it. Oh, 91 in the wall. And the 0-1, 91 still. He's stuck in it.
Yeah, they got by cleanly, but wow. Oh, man, with 2 to go in the stage.
2 to go. Here comes Ethan Brault underneath the 0-1. He's going to try to see if he can be able to get past him. Now he's going to have another truck to his outside. The 97 sticking his nose in there. Wow, very tough move being made there. Wow, power statement made by Alex van der Sant there, making a move onto the outside of Ethan Burrell there to take over the 5th place. So 97 coming up through the pack, started in 16th, already into the top 5. This is the last lap. Is he going to be able to have anything for the 4th place driver there?
A really good run. Oh, he's going to send it. He almost. He thought about it.
He thought about it. Yeah, he definitely was thinking about maybe just putting that little bit of a tap to be able to finish things off, but unable to do so there as he will finish in the stage 5th. As that was exciting. When those tires really start to wear down, you see them slipping and sliding, and that's allowing drivers to be able to take the momentum and be able to make something of it. So very interesting run there at the end of that stage. The top 10 are as followed. It's Trevor Elam who finishes off the stage with a win. Scott Crump able to work his way up to 2nd. Lethem Joyner, our top rookie driver, in 3rd. Drake Berry, after battling hard there, gets into 4th. Alex van der Sant sneaks his way into 5th. Ethan Burrell is going to stick around to the 6th place position. Ethan Stanley falls back late in that run to 7th. Sean Ryan able to stabilize himself into 8th. Matthew Weeks able to finally get up to 9th here. And it looks like to round out the top 10, Chad Frankenfield is going to round out to 10th place. So that is our top 10 drivers in the end of that stage as they will start to stack them back up. They'll be going down pit road this time by. While they're doing that, I'm going to give it over to David here to go over our sponsor shout-outs for tonight's evening.
All right, our sponsor for the series is Smokin Gobbler Barbecue, Abingdon, Virginia's finest smoked barbecue. Let the Smokin Gobbler help out with your next large group gathering and party. You can message them on Twitter at Smokin Gobbler Barbecue. And for our premier sponsors for the Elite Racing League and Network, we have TA Services. For over 36 years, TA Services has been a trusted domestic and international full-service third-party logistics provider, offering freight brokerage, managed transportation, warehousing and fulfillment, and cross-border logistics services to shippers around the globe. TA Services moves what matters to you. Let the TA Services team make ship happen for you. Blue Egg Marketing. Blue Egg is the marketing department for small businesses. We are your marketing department. For small business owners, Blue Egg is your biggest fan. And Brixi Cam is a venture-backed tech company based in Toronto and Boston. They are on a mission to reimagine the group photo experience. Gone are the days of carrying around a tripod or selfie stick. They help their customers and users better tell their stories around meaningful moments. They let anyone tap into nearby cameras to capture group memories at iconic places as if users were controlling their own native camera app, except now from a perfectly positioned vantage point. Today you can find Brixi at well-known sports venues and cultural landmarks across 4 continents.
And as always, thank you to Smokin Gobbler Barbecue, our series sponsor from Arlington, Virginia. The finest smoked barbecue. Let them help you out with your next large group gathering and party. I'm still waiting for him to be able to put out those barbecue sauces, as I'm very interested in them. And definitely trying to see if maybe I can spice up some barbecue for when it gets a little bit colder down here in Florida. That's not for a while. We don't get that cold very often.
Might
for
get
2
down
weeks,
into the 60s.
Oh, me, the 60s? No, thank you. Ugh. That means I have to wear a sweater. And I just walk around in a tank top all day. All right, well, that is our qualifying or our lineup here. This changed a little bit after those pit stops. Scott Crump saying he's in the pits. Is he in the pits? Or is that just something with our scoring monitor? No, he's not in the pits. He's definitely out front, able to get the lead through pit cycles. So Scott Crump able to get out front. Very, very timely for him. He's going to be able to start up front for the start of this. Trevor Elam is going to be back into second. Some other notable ones into there. Jake Finch now in the top 10 there in the 76. A few drivers having some issues. I think not issues. Sean Ryan all the way back into 15th. I'm wondering if he fixed something or if he just had a really bad pit stop. But Sean Ryan relegated himself back to 15th as they line back up here to go green once again.
Yeah, I suspect Sean, after those couple, maybe he got some right side damage there. He wanted to fix up from getting into the wall. For maybe 10 seconds. It doesn't hurt to fix it, especially this early in the race as well. I mean, I'm sure we're not probably done with yellows, but we had a really good first 40 laps of the race. So we'll see what the restart brings here.
Well, let's not jinx it because that was very exciting racing to finish off that stage once those tires got worn down. We want more of that. Yes, please. As they start to line back up, pace car will be off, and it will be over to Scott Crump. Once again, having a great run and great internet connection so far for Scott Crump. We'll see if he can be able to do it at one of his best tracks here. Waiting on the 90 as the green flag is back out. Gets out to a really good start, as well as the driver right behind him, Lethan Joyner. I don't know if they timed that perfectly together, but both able to get back in front before they even got into the turn. 29, Trevor Elam trying hard to get out to the outside, decides not to do it. He's going to try to see if he can set him up going down into turns 3. 29 underneath the 03 there. Is he going to be able to stick underneath him? Good run through the middle of that turn. Oh, they're going to be really close together.
Tough.
Oh, boy. No, the 03 able to have the speed coming out of the exit there to clear himself to stabilize in second place. Run. Oh, hard wreck.
Oh.
Hard wreck. A car truck flying through the air after glitching into the wall. They are still piling into each other.
Oh, there's Holmes up in the air.
10-car wreck or truck wreck right there. Very hard. 2 trucks at 2 separate points hit the wall and then glitched and got flung through the air. As you see, a truck still stuck to the outside wall there. Let's go back here. It was something to happen with Chad Frankenfield. Just barely got into the back of the 82 into the 01, who was having a fantastic run earlier on and fell back there after pit stops and had put himself into a bad position. You see him, it flipped him over, and that will be the end of his night. They're going to deduct the 82 for being at fault for that wreck. But 01 definitely came out really hard for that one. If you watch further on, there was a couple more incidents happening afterwards. I don't know if that's the 82 entirely.
They just kept on piling in as well after this. Further up from Drake Berry as well, as ton more trucks got involved. What a wild ride!
I want to see that again and get a good idea. But this is further back here. Trey Holmes, who was having a good run as well in the top 10. All these drivers have relegated themselves further back in the field. And you see the 76 involved. Here we go. Let's see exactly what happened. Yeah, that's just tough racing. They were both really close together there. 82 did go down a little bit, so they will knock him as fault for the accident. And you see the 88 go back. Wow, watch that. 05 involved. 88, the 9, Sean Ryan, who was having a good run. All of those drivers who were in the top 10 having good runs ended their night. 88 gets slung backwards as well.
Got lucky, I think. He looked like he was going to be stuck in the outside wall until he got completely hammered out of it.
On board here with the 88.
Trying to go as low as he can, and everybody keeps going low in front of him, and he's already committed, so it's hard to uncommit and keep a clean truck that way as well. You could wreck very easily by making a quick sudden change of direction at the last possible second.
Brent Jones.
Absolutely nowhere to go for everybody behind.
And Brent Jones got some large front end hit on his. Maybe Zach Evans got involved in this as well, further back. Tries to avoid it, gets loose. Yeah. Oh, Brent Jones, we didn't see that part. Yeah, Brent Jones, Zach Evans.
Zach might stay clean.
Yeah. The
There he
pink
did.
mobile still around.
Oh,
never mind.
Hey,
Well,
scraped it.
Well, that's kind of what happens here at Darlington. You may think, well, look how wide the racetrack is around those turns, but it is not that easy to avoid wrecks at Darlington because of how flat the bottom of the racetrack is. It sends you upwards, and it seems like everything collects up at the top of the racetrack and then slides down. So if you don't get collected up at the top part of the racetrack, it eventually slides down right in front of you if you are able to slow down enough to be able to run the bottom. But yeah, unfortunately for those drivers, a lot of drivers involved in that. We'll see if any of them are able to keep going, as already it looks like there's only around 23 or 24 or so odd drivers on the lead lap, as they are looks like they're going to wave around for one more lap of pace. 23 drivers on the lead lap. And a lot of drivers 2 or more laps down already. A lot of drivers out from that. Looks like both Sam Batwell was actually already a couple laps down. Trey Holmes going to be out of the race, as we saw. Brent Jones out of the race. Drake Berry there is out of the race. Joshua Arnold out of the race. So tough sledding for those drivers early on here. But looks like Scott Crump's going to lead us back around here. One more time around, I guess. One more lap around the racetrack.
Sorry, I'm just trying to listen into what Ethan is saying.
Some about they don't like drivers zigzagging under caution. So
seems like I think more so probably right before the choose cone as well. I guess, yeah, it might cause a form of distraction, maybe. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, looks like they'll be lined back up here. Scott Crump still out front. Van de Sand up to 5th. Frankenfield, after that incident, is now up to 6th. Ethan Burrow at 7th. A couple new drivers. Norgard up there in 8th. Martinez now finds himself in 9th. And look at that. Hozak having a good run up into the top 10 now. So with people having issues, it allows other drivers to work their way up. The 12th car all the way from the 29th starting position up into to the 8th position. So good run for him. Pace car is off, waiting on Scott Crump to start us for this restart. Not as good as a restart for the 03 there as he did last time. It's going to allow the 29 to have the advantage in turns 1 and 2. 29 should have the run coming out of the turn. See the 03. Yeah, get a little loose. Out of nowhere, here comes Matthew Weeks battling for the 3rd position, having the run coming out of the turn. Side by side in turns 3 and 4. The 11 and the 03 coming out of the turn. The 03 should have the speed, but is the 11 going to be able to stay to the inside? Not enough. Not enough. Looks like the Joyner's going to be able to clear himself and keep himself into the 3rd position. So there's 3 wide battle further in the back. Oh boy, there's a lot of craziness going on back.
So tough to make a pass on the inside. Knowing that the guy on the top, he's got all the momentum in the world to come off the corner and keep that spot, really, to have the more straight line speed down that straightaway. So I mean, you got to commit really, really hard to get past someone on the inside, or just hope they're nice enough to let you go. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot. It's really hard to pass on the inside. A lot harder I feel like especially on new tires, because everybody's going basically the same speed. Nobody has any form of tire wear, so to take advantage of. So Matthew Weeks, I mean, he realized he's gonna set in a groove right here, but obviously if Latham makes a mistake or something, he'll be ready to pounce on him immediately again.
Good racing still going on up here as you see three-way battle for the third place. Chad Frankenfield really diving it in there, getting really close to the back end of the 11, trying to set up a pass coming out of turn 4. As you also see setting up a pass for the lead there as well. Both drivers within a tenth of a second now is Trevor Elam of Scott Crump. Scott Crump known for being very good here, but right now Trevor Elam is definitely putting pressure on that 90 truck. Won the stage, trying to get it back out front after losing the spot on pit road. Trevor Elam trying to get around turns 3 and 4. Takes a lot lower of the line you see here. And he's going to actually have the run. He might be to the inside. Oh, Scott
he got a block.
What's a block? It's a bump from the 29. Oh, wow. Trevor Elam's not going to be happy with that. That's the last thing you want seeing in front of you is only halfway through the race and being a block being put on to you. That's definitely going to upset the 29. Definitely don't want to see Scott Crump do that again, as I don't know how much longer 29 would put up with that if that setup happens again. 29 once again coming around 3 and 4. Looks like he has a lot more speed during turns 3 and 4 than Scott Crump, as we're going to probably see another attempt to pass going into this turn here once again.
I'll see if Scott blocks again. He won't. That was a very interesting choice to block, especially that now we just got past halfway, but Trevor's going to try it here. He he's going to get it aside. This is hard racing.
That why we're oohing here is there's still a chance. Oh boy, there's still a chance. Even further back, Matthew Weeks and the 15 side by side. We're not done yet. The squinching and the cringing we're making right now is not done yet, as Matthew Weeks actually might be able to take that advantage of being on the outside. He might be able to set up a pass here on the 03 going into turns. Oh, another block, late block.
Matthew Weeks
with that. A little bit. Yeah, he's not happy. You don't want to do that.
Scott Crump is holding this group up, it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you see a lot of this is intense battling for only being halfway through the race, and these guys are battling like it's the last lap. They're not wanting to give up any positions. I've not seen blocks being made at Darlington all too often because it's so easy to get sent into the wall. All it takes is a bump and you're slamming the outside wall. So you don't usually want to do that. But these drivers are not willing to give up positions. To our benefit, Harrison, we're enjoying it. But, a lot of really hard racing going on. We'll have to see how much of that's taken, as it looks like Weeks is going to be the first one to try to attempt another pass as he starts gaining further third position there. Boy,
man. Wild stuff at the front, I think. I have a theory that Scott Crump is just trying to save his tires, but also keep the lead in his track position. That would be one theory as to why I would assume he's been pretty aggressive and adamant on keeping the lead, but also, he's backing up the pack as well. Yeah, another great run.
Have a run. He might have a run. He's going to take a look. He's right on the back bumper.
Late block.
He gets tapped. Oh, that's what we were saying. Now Scott Crump had to lift just a little bit. 29 able to get to the inside. Wow, he clears him. But here comes Scott Crump back. He might give him a bump. He's looking to the inside of him going into turns 3 and 4. Is he going to be able to get back to the inside and make a pass for the lead? 29 lifts and actually makes a little contact with the wall. He's going to lose a lot of positions from that. And Scott Crump's going to be back out front as Trevor Elam goes from being in the lead all the way back to 5th in just half a lap. Wow. He makes the move on Crump, and Crump was not backing down, came right back and made a pass. again why we are oohing and ahhing when they go into turns 1. They're going 3 and 4, but the next turn that they come out of, it's really only a one groove part of the track. You don't want to go too wide. It's hard enough going one wide, and they are not willing to lift or be able to give up a position. Here comes Matthew Weeks once again trying to make the move on the 03. Looks like Trevor Elam onto the inside of Chad. Oh, almost contacted once again. Chad able to stay to the outside. And here comes Ethan Burrell, going to see if he can be able to continue to put Trevor Elam back further in the field.
Look at how close the top 11 are after 15, 16 laps. They're separated by 3 seconds. The top 11.
Yeah, this is some great racing. They are hard, and they're acting like there's no need to save tires. That there's rain in the air here or something. They are going extremely hard. As you see, Matthew Weeks starting to make a move. He might be able to get up there. He's to the inside. Nope, he ducks back in. Oh, Trevor Elam into the back of Chad Frankenfield.
Wow.
Chad Frankenfield into the wall. I saw that happening in advance. Chad Frankenfield's going to lose quite a bit of positions from that. As you see the damage to his back bumper, Trevor Elam dove it in a lot further than what Chad was willing to go. And Chad got sent up into the wall and got a ton of damage from that.
I think Chad, I think he was running a different, I don't think it was anything egregious there from Trevor. I think he's right on his bumper, and Chad lifted a little bit earlier than what Trevor's been lifting at that point as well. So,
Trevor Elam probably has a lot of anger.
Oh, yes. I checked his nose damage as well. He's got some good, some damage there on the right front. You can see it a little bit perked up there on the hood. So he's losing some downforce and some aero. He's dragging down the straightaways a lot more than what he would be. So you can see it right there a lot better. Oh, yeah.
Might lose another position here to Alex Vandersam. It looks like Ethan Burrell able to make the pass and completed onto fourth. And you see Trevor Elam allow Alex Vandersam around on the outside. So Trevor Elam either has burnt his tires up or the damage really affected his truck, as he, after battling for the lead and winning the stage, has now found himself further back. And he might get back put there with Chad Frankenfield, who may have some retaliation to give back to the 29th. So definitely want to keep an eye on that for sure and see if that progresses to anything.
Man, the span of 5-10 laps can really make a big difference in this race. He was fighting for the lead, getting blocked by Scott Crump just under 10 laps ago, and now he's at 6, struggling with damaged race truck and a really angry Chad Frankenfield, only one truck behind him as well. So Ethan Burrell is caught up to the back of these two.
Yeah, three-way battle here for second. Scott Crump finally is able to start gaining his own pace. Now that Trevor Elam is far away from him, he is able to start clicking off some decent laps. But that has allowed these three drivers to really catch up on each other. Teammate battle here is Ethan Burrell able to get underneath and clear of Matthew Weeks. I wouldn't expect them to battle too hard early on here. But Ethan Burrell able to take that speed and actually catch up to the next driver in front of him. Ethan Burrell in that 37 showing some really good pace underneath him for tonight.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job, and he's finding himself in the right spots at the right time. Getting later into the race here, just under 40 laps to go, and he's Latham is making more blocks. The blocks are crazy tonight. This is wow. I don't know if I've ever seen this at Darlington, because it's really risky to do that. You could get your race ruined like that if you make them block, because drivers don't have the
patience.
The patience, yeah, especially with this late in the race as well. They're gonna just completely move you right out of the way.
It's so easy just to put a bump if they go to block, because at that point it's pretty much giving you the clear shot that hey they're asking for at that point. I mean,
absolutely.
It'd be one thing if you just caught up to them. There obviously a bump would not be as something that drivers know that would be coming, or or be almost anticipated. But when you place a block, you are essentially telling the driver behind him, I'm not going to let you by. You have to move. And that's essentially what happens next. Is usually there's a move that goes on from there. So you almost expect it if you put a block that someone's going to put a bumper to you. I expect that at the end of the race, where that becomes almost like your only chance of being able to keep the driver behind you. But it's so early on, and these drivers are already thinking about keeping drivers behind them. So you see Matthew Weeks lose another position to Alex Van der Sant, who's now caught up to this two-way battle for second.
I think we're going to start maybe. I think Ethan Burrell's so much faster than Latham Joyner. I'm surprised by Matthew Weeks falling back to fifth. Yeah, Chad's on pit road. I'm not sure. I think maybe some strategy call here or something.
And getting on pit road to get some tires early on, trying to see if he can make the most of it. He's got nothing to lose. He's not racing for any kind of points or anything, so he's going to try to see if he can be able to take that and see if he can work his way up. But he's got a ton of damage, so he's got other issues going on than just that. But really tight battle, really shaping up here. They're all right on to the back bumper of each other. Here comes Matthew Weeks, four-way battle for second place.
Yeah, Ethan has to get by super quick here. These laps are counting down. We're almost 30 to go. He's going to look to the inside. It's going to be tricky.
Very difficult.
He's going to try to force. Cannot get pinned here if you're Ethan Burrell on the bottom. You got to keep it up there. He's still side by side. I think. Oh no, he's not.
No, the 97 has done this multiple times to Ethan Burrell. In fact, just waited for Ethan to try to make a pass and capitalize on the driver that doesn't, and able to get to the outside. Now the question will be able to see, is Ethan Burrell going to stick to the inside going into turn one, the tight spot of the track? They will. 97 able to clear and does a really good job. Alex Van der Sant to third. Now going to try to see if he can be able to have anything to go up against Joyner. And the only driver that really is in favor of how Joyner's driving right now and is happy how Joyner's driving is Scott Crump. Because Scott Crump now has about a 1.5 second lead and has probably saved his tires to a degree where he's pretty comfortable out there and doesn't really have to worry about anything. So the only one that's really rooting on the 03 right now would be Scott Crump, as he's definitely going to have to, if he comes home with a win tonight, give a lot of thanks to the 03.
Matthew Weeks down pit road. Another strategy call.
Oh,
he's
good
coming down to get tires
battle.
early.
Side-by-side battle for second. Looks like the 97.
Look at that.
Able to make the pass. Yeah. Tires be not. He has a lot older tires, obviously. Able to make the pass. 03 unable to be able to be able to keep him behind him, running the outside. So yeah, 2 seconds.
Van der Sant just gained a ton of time on Scott Crump through 1 and 2. He just gained almost half a second.
Yeah, something must have happened with Scott Crump in this lap car. 62 keeps hitting the wall. I believe that might have what happened. So all that tire saving and having the lead advantage that he had gained because of the 03, lost it all due to lap traffic. Now only finds himself only a little over half a second lead over this very quick and coming 97 truck, who has definitely been making quick work of drivers. He's been very smart, and due to that, has probably saved a lot of tires as well, because all the passes he made, he doesn't linger very long. He sets it up, and then he passes, and he's gone and out of there. And that's what you saw when he got around to 37. He did that to the 11, and he did that to the 03 when he got to him. All three of those passes happened very, very quick, almost before we could even see him most of the time.
These pit stops right now, Gerald, Matthew Weeks is going to be, Chad Frankenfield with that pit stop just a couple laps before Weeks. He's going to be ahead of Matthew Weeks. Oh, man. They're running a second and a lap faster. A second and a half a lap faster than the leaders, Scott Crump, Alex Van der Sant, Ethan Burrell. They are losing a ton of time while staying on track. can the top drivers make it on fuel? Or if they can't, this is a really head scratching strategy call. Because they're really leaving themselves with not enough laps to get them back.
Well, some of these drivers that may be staying a little later out is hoping is that they will have the tire at the end to be able to make up the time. But yeah, as you stated, there are 2 seconds off their qualifying time. So Scott Crump right now going around 2 seconds off his qualifying lap. So that gives you an idea. With some of these drivers coming down pit road, almost
Here goes
2 seconds
Van de
gain. Yeah, so last driver to stay out.
We're gonna undercut him.
Yeah,
Ooh,
last
get
driver,
mowed
Scott
down.
Crump.
Yeah, Scott Crump last out there. This is he's gonna find himself in some traffic when he comes back out on the track when he makes his pit stop. This is oh man. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Last 25 laps based on strategy. Oh, if Scott wants to pit here, I don't think he can. No, he's gonna get blocked. He's gonna have to stay out another lap.
Yeah, the question will be, it's 25 laps to go, and he is losing almost 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds to these guys that pitted. Why would you want to give them that big of an advantage? Like 24 laps is not that long. That's not long at all. And he's still going around out there. I don't know if he's going to be coming down pit road not yet or not. Doesn't look like it because he's not worried about it. When will Scott Crump come down pit road is the question.
He needs a yellow. At this point, he needs a caution because, I mean, he has almost the entire field lapped, basically just except for Ethan Stanley and Sean Ryan. But they're going to be coming up on him really quick to unlap themselves, and he needs tires and fuel to get to the end, so he needs a yellow now. I don't think he can win the race by... He might have to just stick to the strategy and stay long.
Yeah, I just don't understand that. You were leading. To have a strategy to just try to stay out and hope for a caution after being in the lead is so bizarre for us. It's not something you would normally see, but the battle is starting to shape up. Looks like Frankenfield is going to probably be the leader once Scott Crump does have to go down pit road. He is very quickly catching up to Scott Crump to unlap himself. You see right there in the picture behind Frankenfield is Weeks with about
there
5
he
laps.
Comes. I don't understand it.
That's too late.
It's too late. 20 laps is not enough time.
No,
because they were already about to unlap themselves. And
I don't even think he's gonna get a top 5. He might get a top
lose.
5, but he's gonna have to make up like 15 seconds in a span of 20 laps in the race. He's gonna have to make up so much time, and it's not a track where that's easily said than done. It's a hard track to pass. And you get stuck behind a driver, even if you do have a
crash in turn 3, Trevor Elam and Latham Joyner.
Huge wreck, yeah, Trevor Elam. Oh no, that might have been what Crump needed. He's on pit road. He's going to come off pit road. All these drivers have to slow down, and he's going to have new tires. He's not going to need to be able
to stay out.
Wow. We
saved
should
by
have
the bell.
Yeah, we should have not doubted Scott Crump. He's going to go from having the worst strategy to having the exact strategy to be able to, like the ideal strategy. Come down pit road and the caution comes out because all these other drivers are going to need to come down pit road or they're going to be against the tire deficit. He's going to have 0 laps on his tires essentially and come out and not lose that many positions. You see, this is what happens. Oh, a little bit of netco is what happened between Trevor Elam and the 03. Both of these drivers were very aggressive drivers earlier on. So contact is not something that was unexpected, to say the least. Both these drivers have very close contact with multiple drivers on track, and this time around, it bit both of them with a little bit of net code to help the situation.
Oh, man. That's really unfortunate. Wow, Scott Crump with the strategy call. That worked out completely perfect. Because everybody else is pitted now. He's
I mean, like I would have to believe like Chad Frankenfield probably will come down pit road. Any driver that's in front of, I mean, Scott Crump's already ahead of him still.
Yeah, they came down. They actually just came down pit road.
And I think he's gonna take back the lead here.
He should be able to, yes.
So we'll see once they all start to figure out their lanes once again. We're going to give it back over to Dave because I have a feeling that it is just getting heated up, and we're probably not going to have a lot of time to talk about sponsors once we get going back greening.
All right, our series sponsor, of course, is Smokin Gobbler Barbecue, Abingdon, Virginia's finest smoked barbecue. Let the Smokin Gobbler help out with your next large group gathering and party. Message them on Twitter at Smokin Gobbler Q. Our premier sponsors, TA Services. For over 36 years, TA Services has been a domestic and international full-service third-party logistics provider offering freight brokerage, managed transportation, warehousing, and fulfillment, and cross-border logistics services to shippers around the globe. TA Services moves what matters to you. Let the TA Services team make ship happen for you. Blue Egg Marketing. Blue Egg is the marketing department for small businesses. For small businesses, Blue Egg is your biggest fan. We help businesses punch above their weight class. And finally, Brixi Cam. Brixi is a venture-backed tech company based in Toronto and Boston. They are on a mission to reimagine the group photo experience. Gone are the days of carrying around a tripod and selfie stick. They help their customers and users tell better stories around meaningful moments. They let anyone tap into nearby cameras to capture group memories at iconic places as if users were controlling their own native camera app, except now from a perfectly positioned vantage point. Today you can find Brixi at well-known sports venues and cultural landmarks around 4 continents.
Well, we appreciate that. Looks like, is Scott Crump leading it again? I think he's not. I think Alex Van der Sant will be leading. We'll have to see when they come back around here. There's so many lap down cars going to be taking the wave around in front of them. I'm not sure which one of those drivers was actually leading or not. It looks like Scott Crump is going to be the leader. So Scott Crump, with the strategy call, able to get himself back out front even though drivers pitted early. How everything turned out just perfectly for Scott Crump. Me and Harrison would have bet money. That caution didn't come out. There was zero chance Scott Crump was going to win the race. And now it's right in Scott Crump's lap back again.
Man.
Uh-oh, something happened under caution here with Zach Evans.
Well, let's see what happened here. Oh, the infamous bee in the car. he was allergic to bees, and he was swatting it and spun himself out. I don't know. I think he was trying to avoid the 62.
Yeah, he was saying he was avoiding the 62, but the 62 just sure didn't move too much. But
it was the bees. It's the easiest way to get out of a speeding ticket is just to say that you had a bee in the car. Looks like Scott Crump deciding to take the inside lane. So Scott Crump didn't get the lead. Looks like maybe the 97 there and the few other drivers may have stayed out on older tires. But Scott Crump could probably make easy work of this with his new tires.
Yeah, don't forget about Matthew Weeks, though. He is on fresh Goodyears as well. He took his last set there in the pits. And he's not going to pull over for Scott Crump. These two, they don't have the greatest working relationship on track, so this could get very spicy at the end.
There is only 16 drivers on the lead lap, so with that caution coming out during the middle of that green flag pit stops, it has definitely shortened the field. Looks like Chad Frankfield had to go to the back due to something on pit road, so his benefit of pitting early and that green flag run is out of the way. But we will be coming to 15 laps to go. We'll find out if this is going to be the last caution or not, but we will be waiting on Alex Van der Sant with a little bit older tires. Going to be restarting here onto the front row. Green flag is back out, and the 97 is away as you see a little bit of a stack up there in the middle of the pack. Let's see if the 90 car is able to clear himself. No, he's not even going to be able to clear third. He might lose third place. Oh, really?
he's
Put,
gonna put
Oh, he's in the air.
Weeks in the 90 into the wall, hard wreck. Multiple drivers
Wow.
involved. And the 90
Matthew
is in the
Weeks.
fence.
Look. What?
You called it, Harrison. You called it right there that those two drivers don't get along, and they did not give each other any room on racetrack. Scott Crump was trying desperately to be able to get that inside lane running, but just running really, really, really close to the 11, and end up the netco came about, but man, they were too close. There was going to be contact made, whether if there was a net code or not there, as the 90 trucks night will be over.
Matthew Weeks is going off on Scott Crump.
Not happy. He was also a really good chance to win here, having a very good run. Now will be cut short. He had fresh tires as well, but as we saw, Scott Crump was not willing to lift there, and neither was the 11, to be fair. Both drivers decided to go into that turn, and when no drivers decide to do anything other than take the position, they both end up going into the wall. So that's what we expect in turns 1 and 2. Every time we were going, ooh, ah, ooh, and you're wondering at home, man, why do they keep going and worrying about turn 1? It's because of that. There's no room in that turn to go side by side, and usually a spot is just given, because if you end up sliding up just a little bit too much, you end up getting turned into the wall, just like the 90 truck did. And that's exactly what we were afraid of happening, and that's just what ended up going on with the 90 truck and the 11. Well, we got a new cast of characters up front, Harrison.
Hey, yeah, I got a question for you guys, since you guys are both drivers and I'm not. I mean, is there guidelines or gentlemen's agreements where you have for how much chat goes on during when you're going back to a green? There was an awful lot of chatter going on there when things got ugly there.
Usually the race admin is supposed to tell everyone to start shushing up. When nerves start getting into the fact of things, and we saw a lot of different strategies playing out, and a lot of drivers thinking it was their chance to shine, you'll get some chatter going on. It definitely doesn't help the situation, because it definitely makes you go from focusing on what you're supposed to be doing to a conversation. So there's not really a gentleman's agreement. It's more of race admin supposed to come in and say, hey, no, we're going green. Shush up.
Yeah, I know. And then once everybody starts griping while you still have an active yellow going on, the people in the back are really at a disadvantage, because nobody can key up their mic and tell them that a wreck is coming.
Yeah, but with two very heated drivers, the 11 and 90, you kind of know the button's going to be pushed. Like
are they in close proximity to each other? Then be ready.
If they're either one of those drivers are going to be involved in a wreck, they're going to let everyone in the lobby know about it, and they'll probably let everyone on Twitter know about it. So if you ever want to have a good time and watch everything go burn down after the race, you can always go on to Elite Twitter. I'm sure Elite tweets out some of the nicer of the tweets, but it goes on further than just here, I guarantee you. Sometimes it even goes on to other series. So as Harrison has said, those two drivers have had a few run-ins with each other, so it's not Harrison called it way before it happened. We'll definitely have to give him credit on that one.
Man, this is I mean, I guess who do you got now? Who's gonna win this race?
Alex Vandersand still has a very good piece underneath him, but we got Sean Ryan, our pole sitter, had an up and down day all day. Finds himself into the third position now. Daniel Martinez has been very consistent, very, very consistent. Finds himself in fourth. Cole Murkrut is from 24th spot starting position. It was in the wall really, really hard early on, and then just was running in the back. Now finds himself in fifth. Ethan Burrell, who's been having a very good run, finds himself in sixth. He's been there all day. Joshua Freed up there in seventh. Chad Frankenfield relegated back there after starting near 15th, all the way back up to 8th now. So it's a good question. We'll find out here, but the pace car is down. Green flag is back out. 97 truck able to clear himself once again and gets out to a very decent lead. So now Alex Van Sant will lead us going in. Oh, very close there between the 33 and the 9. 9 still stuck to the inside there. And he might be able to clear himself here to get in front of Chad Frankenfield. He does. Chad's going to dive to the inside, see if he can be able to take that 5th place from Sean Ryan there. Dove it in there, actually, and able to clear himself now. So Chad Frankenfield, after starting 15th just a few laps ago, already up to 5th place. So keep an eye on Chad Frankenfield. When he wants to be aggressive, he will definitely be aggressive.
Ooh, little wiggle there out of the 91. Daniel Martinez is going to take advantage of that all day.
Oh.
So is Ethan Burrell, and Chad Frankenfield going to follow suit. Look at Burrell onto the inside of the 33, though.
Yeah, 33 and the 37 side by side coming out of turns 3 and 4, going into that turn 1 where it gets very, very short. Ethan Burrell actually backs out of it. See the 91 back out for Chad Frankenfield. So now put Chad up to 4th. Ethan Stanley from 2nd down to 5th. Very quickly, he'll have it. Sean Ryan working his back bumper here before too long. Ethan Burrell trying desperately to see if he can be able to get past the 33 and be able to make quick work of the leader, who is on a few lap older tires. So the advantage right now will be to the drivers with newer tires. But the more they run, the more evened out it will be between them and the leader of Alex Van Sant.
Yeah, Ethan Burrell needs to go now. He needs to make this pass quick on the 33. Michael Daniel Martinez has got a really good run off of 2. He's going to take it. No, he's not. They are catching Van Sant very quick.
Ethan Burrell, very, very clean driver, and sometimes that's to his benefit. And some other times, like here, you need almost to be ruthless to be able to make some of these passes. And I just question, is the 37 going to have the tenacity to be able to make quick work of this? Or will he just relegate himself to 3rd place with being overly cautious? You see them both actually catch up to the leader now, as now it looks like Daniel Martinez might find himself having a shot on the leader for the win here.
Yeah, Van Sant is struggling there compared to these two. They have got right up to his back bumper now, and he's feeling every bit of pressure for these last 5 laps. He's got to be perfect. He's got to run some really good laps, really good qualifying type laps. But he can't make a mistake. Daniel Martinez got loose. That goes Ethan Burrell to his outside.
So Ethan Burrell, his consistency of just being right there pays off. He will be able to get to 2nd. He will have 4 laps to see if he can be able to make a move on the 97. Will be right on his back bumper going into turn 1. And you're on board here with Ethan Burrell to see if he can be able to get a run down the back straightaway. Looks like they're evened up here right now. Very close. He will have a lot lower of an exit coming here.
Oh, he's going to get his...
to the inside. I wouldn't believe the 97 is going to lift here. So they will be going side by side into turn 1. Very risky move. Dives it in there. Is he going to slide up? He clears himself.
Cleared him. Wow.
Ethan Burrell clears himself with a lot more speed than I was predicting from the 37. He just puts it to him. He doesn't even slide up the racetrack. He just puts down the throttle and is able to clear himself for the lead. So Ethan Burrell, he was running outside the top 5 for most of this race after just being consistent and smooth and being safe. I was wondering if that was going to be to his benefit. It is. Ethan Burrell in 2nd with a very clean truck and the newest tires is looking to set sail here with just a few laps left to go in this race.
It's textbook right there. He kept his truck clean all night, and he survived. He survived a couple really big wrecks that really shouldn't have been survived. That was really good contact. A good job to keep it straight here as we head to the last lap.
Final lap, so no cautions will decide the end of this. It will be all the way to the checker flag. Ethan Burrell coming down the back straightaway just needs to be clean for another 2 turns here, and he will come away with a win as we have a good battle for third. Chad Frankenfield diving underneath the 33. 33 is going to be able to have the momentum. Should be able to clear himself going down the back straightaway. Here comes Ethan Burrell. Ethan Burrell in the 37 for Pro Edge Motorsports will come home tonight's victor with a very clean pass for the lead and is able to complete the run and come home with a victory tonight. Daniel Martinez is able to get himself the 3rd place over Frankenfield, and that will have Ethan Burrell first, Van der Sant second, and Daniel Martinez to come home in 3rd.
That's that bump I got from Daniel Martinez there on the backstretch. The seems like the only contact he got all night. Give him a little scratch. You could see it, but I don't think he minds.
After all the carnage that we had saw between drivers that were very, very good, we saw the 9 truck have some damage after hitting the wall. We saw the 29 get into a wreck after running very strong. We saw the 90 and the 11 truck get into an accident and ruin their nights. The one driver that had nothing go wrong for him tonight was Ethan Burrell. He just was right there in the top 5, and he was able to come home with a victory late in the run here. His only laps led was the final 2 laps of the race, and that's all he needed to be able to come home tonight's victor for the Darlington race number 8 of the season.
Yeah, I mean, oh man, he led 2, 3 laps. Well, he only needed to leave those last 2 laps anyway. Those are the most important anyway. So yeah, what a victory! What a way to get his. I think this is maiden win of the season, actually.
Well, we're gonna give it over here to David, and he's gonna give our race rundown for tonight's race.
All right, our results: Ethan Burrell in first, Alex Van der Sant, Daniel Martinez, Chad Frankenfield, Ethan Stanley, Sean Ryan, Leighton Norgard comes home 7th, Jeff Green in 8th, Wesley Crump, Cole Mickrut, Josh Freed, Michael Hosack, Latham Joyner, Mark Murphy, Tyler Dixon, Jesse Rasmus, Zach Evans, Ray Bracey round out the top 18. Cody McCorkle, Dustin Durer, Corey Abbott, Trevor Elam finishes in 22nd. Jake Finch, Matthew Weeks, Scott Crump, Ryan winds up the top 25. Jaden Rasmus, Sam Batwell, Robert Hill Jr., Brent Jones, Drake Berry, Trey Holmes, Josh Arnold, and Michael Klein round out the field tonight.
That's our finishing order. Some of those drivers are not going to be happy with how they finished tonight. I'm sure a few of them will have some grudges going into the rest of the season. And I can't wait to see how that all plays out. But we will go ahead and bring in our 3rd place finisher. That will be Daniel Martinez. Let's see. We'll have him in here. Oh, where'd he go?
He just went away. He was there.
Let me get him in here. There he is. I got you. Daniel Martinez, you came home tonight's 3rd place finisher here. You were able to hold off Chad Frankenfield just by a few 100ths of a second. So very good run there. There's a lot of carnage tonight, and wreck avoidance was almost as important as speed on racetrack. What was your vantage point from your standpoint as you came home tonight's 3rd place finisher?
Yeah, thanks. It was definitely the big key because both of the big wrecks that we had, I had a front row seat and was just somehow lucky enough to pick the right lane and miss it, and then at the end just somehow found myself in the front 2 rows and had a shot at it.
Well, 3rd place finish definitely helps you here tonight for the points. You are running for the points, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. Well, you have 3 races left, and this is definitely one of those tracks that sometimes it goes very smoothly and kind of predict where you might finish, and then other nights like tonight where wrecks will play a big factor in it, and you might end up getting caught into something. A good finish here will definitely help you to make it into the regular season. To make it to the playoffs there. So going forward, we have a few more difficult tracks here. We've got, I believe, up next we've got the Rock, which is going to be a full distance 200 lap race there. Going into some of these more difficult races, is it just trying to be more consistent, or is it trying to try to pick up some more top 3 finishes here before the end of the regular season?
It's definitely a balance game because, if you try too hard to get those top 3 finishes, you're likely to be involved in a lot of the carnage that's bound to happen. But yeah, it's been a pretty rough season, having to miss a couple races and then just bad luck in general. So to have a kind of a bounce back race it just feels really good.
Absolutely. I'm sure you got some shout outs and some sponsors, shout outs for you and your team as a good 1-3 finish for Pro Edge there.
Yeah, a big shout out to Pro Edge and Field Up Racing, both teams I drive for. That I couldn't do a lot of this without their support and guidance from teammates. And a big shout out to you guys and Elite and the sponsors for Elite that allow you guys to broadcast these races, let family and friends and fans watch us put on a show. So a big thank you to you guys and my mom and grandfather who watched every broadcast that race I've been in. Always loved their support. And JD Designs for always making my schemes, and glad I could put this Jack Sprague throwback on the podium for him.
Absolutely. Good finish here tonight. Hopefully, we can see a couple more times when we get to some of these other harder tracks. Going from Darlington to the Rock is a very difficult schedule, but hopefully, we can see you be consistent once again and be able to do shout outs for your grandparents again.
Yeah, thank you guys.
That was Daniel Martinez, our 3rd place driver. We'll go ahead and bring in our 2nd place driver of Alex Vandersant. Alex Vandersant, do you got me?
I gotcha.
Well, you came home tonight 2nd. You led it all the way to the last couple laps there at the end of this, but you had older tires. What was the strategy? You were just going to stay out on older tires and see if to hold them off? Was there anything else you could have done, or were you more concerned of just making sure you avoided any of those big wrecks that were happening further in the field?
Yeah, I don't know if there was much more I could do. I knew Ethan had stronger tires there, and I mean, my long run pace was by far the best in the field, but I just couldn't do anything in the short run. I didn't know how to push the car as much as some of the other guys, so I just wanted to keep the track position. I only had 5 laps on my tires after my pit stop when we got that quick caution, so I didn't see a need to pit. But yeah, so if I was a little faster in the short run, maybe I could have held him off. But really happy with 2nd place in stage points, and I can be satisfied with the pace that I had.
Well, this definitely helps you trying to go towards the overall win for the regular season, as it looks like RC Anderson did not join us for tonight's race. So this will definitely help propel you to the front of the regular season standings. There's still 3 more races left to go, with the Rock being one of them. Is there any other drivers, any other races? I know the road courses aren't scheduled for a while, but any of the other races that you're looking forward to showing up for?
Yeah, I mean the Roval, but that's a ways away into the chase. Hopefully something can happen with Rockingham. I'm pretty solid with the really long races. If we're able to keep it green, I know I can keep that long run pace. But yeah, otherwise, maybe Atlanta. I'm pretty strong there. But yeah, so that'll be pretty high stakes though, since it's the cutoff for the chase. So we'll see. Just gotta keep up this consistency and this momentum I've got in the second half of the regular season, and just bring home as many points as I can.
Absolutely. Well, good 2nd place finish. Last few weeks have been really good for you. So a good strong run here as we get closer to the end of the regular season. A good push might help make the difference between you being 2nd or 1st in the regular season point standing. So hopefully we'll get to talk to you again, and hopefully get to see you get a few more top 3s and come talk to us. But if anything else, we want to make sure you do your sponsor shout outs and your thank yous, as you never know when the next top 3 you'll get to be able to do them.
Yeah, shout out to everybody at Do Good Motorsports. Dusty and Jeff had pretty solid runs. I think Brent ran into some trouble, unfortunately, but good, great working with them as always. Shout out to Miss Goodies Goodies, of course, Memory Lanes, and all the people at ERL for putting on a great league.
Congratulations, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again. Have a great night.
Thanks, guys.
That was our second place finisher. We're going to go ahead and bring up Ethan Burrell here. Well, you got passed twice by Alex Van der Sant, but you got the last lap. I criticize that you may not be aggressive enough to be able to make these last few passes near the end of the race, but not only did you capitalize on a mistake by the 33, you went out and you showed really good pace and able to make a very clean, a very well-timed pass for the lead back on Alex Van der Sant going into turns 1 and 2, which is incredibly difficult, and came home tonight's winner. What was going through? Were you willing to put the bumper if it came to it, or did you know it was in your hands once you saw the wreck happen between your teammate and the 90?
Yeah, thanks, Gerald. It was those long runs. I mean, Van de Sant, shout out to him. He was a rocket ship on those long runs. It was really just trying to run from him, and I'd get held up just a little bit by somebody, and then he'd fly around me 2 runs in a row, the same exact deal. So, it worked out in my favor there. I was kind of forced to just go ahead and take tires in one of those last cautions, and it worked out. I didn't even realize I had a couple lap tire advantage, but I had been firing out really strong on the short runs. I think I had one of the quickest short run trucks, and I was kind of waiting for Martinez to see if he was going to set up Van de Sant, and then he slipped up, and once I ran 3 and 4 in second, and I cut the gap in half to Van de Sant. I had a feeling I had a good shot at him. So, coming to the finish, if we're close, I don't see anything wrong with rubbing doors a little bit, but thankfully I was able to muscle by him there and hold it.
Well, good run for Pro Edge Motorsports, but overall, came home tonight's victor. You were just consistent. That's exactly what it took to just kind of make sure you didn't get any kind of incident. I don't think you made any incident with the wall, and that might be one of the most the biggest things to be proud of. Is I don't think you had a scratch on until after the checker flag there. Did it just a perfect run? Did it happen exactly as it was? I didn't know how difficult the trucks were tonight, if it was a handful or if it was just making sure you didn't overstep your boundaries.
Yeah, it was good. It was nice and clean. Kept the fenders on, stayed off the wall, and it was a little loose center off on the newer tires, and then I was getting really tight with the understeer later in the run, but it was a pretty comfy setup, and just that's the thing about Darlington. You really just have to let the car come to you, and and there's a lot of etiquette involved here because the track's so narrow. There's some moves you just can't make, and I thought a lot of the guys did a good job at that. And, first step in winning is keeping the truck clean and being there at the end, and then you go on from there. So it was a very successful night. I didn't come in with a lot of expectations. I'm just happy to be out here whenever I can run these, and man, it feels good to be back in victory lane.
Absolutely. Well, we heard from your other teammate there, Daniel Martinez. We want to let you do your shout outs for Pro Edge as we don't get to see you too often. But happy to have you once again, Ethan. We'll definitely hope to see you more for some of the other races, but want to let you go ahead and do your shout outs.
Yeah, for sure. I miss racing all the other NASCAR series here in Elite, so I take advantage of this truck series when I can. And huge shout out to Dan Martinez. He he gave me a chance there. When he bobbled, he could have tried to block me and try to keep fighting, but he gave me a legit shot to go get Van de Sant. So shout out to him, and Grandma and Betty for watching the race tonight. I know they're stoked. We got the truck in victory lane, and got Rosen and Electric on the truck, and And big shout out to JD Designs, buddy John over there putting the paint schemes together. And shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast for us. It means a lot to be able to watch these races back. And yeah, just thanks to everybody involved and all the guys at Pro Edge.
Congratulations once again, and yeah, like we said, we'll probably see you before too long, as you can't keep a good man down, they say. So, good job tonight, Ethan, and doing what everyone hopes for is a good clean pass for the lead. So overall, good run there, Ethan.
Yep, thanks guys.
That was your winner for tonight's race. Overall, Harrison, I gotta say that was it was there was some wrecks. There was definitely some big wrecks. There's a lot of temper, which is exactly what you expect from Darlington. But overall, the fans got a taste of a little bit of everything. We saw green flag pit stops. We saw really, really good long run speed there. And overall, we saw a late race pass for the lead that wasn't just someone taking someone out, which is getting harder and harder to see nowadays. But overall, a great finish for not only us, but everyone involved.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we saw some really good action tonight, some really good racing, a lot of really good close quarter, clean racing at the start, and then basically after that stage happened at lap 40, it got pretty messy, but a lot of drama, definitely in this after this race. So tempers are gonna have to they might boil over to next race, but we're just gonna have to wait and see, honestly. But it was great victory. Ethan Burrell, fantastic job keeping the truck clean all night. I think they put it best. Van de Sant was flying on those long runs. He definitely had the best long run truck. Was able to fly past everybody, as we saw, and yeah, just too old of tires there at the end. It seemed like so. Yeah, I thought it was an enjoyable race. A lot of action, a lot of drama, and can't wait to do it again next week, I believe.
Absolutely. Well, that was race number 8. 3 more races left next week. We will be at the Rock, a 200 lap race. There will be 2 stages for that one, so definitely show up to watch some really good racing there. That always puts on a show because there's so much tire wear. The trucks end up sliding around so much, even more than here. 2 difficult tracks in a row, Darlington and then going straight to the Rock, which is a whole beast of its own. I hope to have anyone that's watching now show up for that, because we saw great racing here and we saw a lot of anger, and I'm waiting to see if that tips over until next week, where maybe some payback will be made to some drivers, and we will be here to enjoy it all once again here in the Elite Racing Network. This is Gerald Campbell. Joining me also was David Huckleberry, bringing you these great shots here from Darlington. Also, thank you very much to Harrison Taillon, joining me here tonight with being able to watch this great racing to televise to everyone at home. And we hope to see you again next week, where we'll be at the Rock. Thank you and have a wonderful night.